You're watching Oilersnation Radio.
Friday episode, gang's all here. Hello. We're going to be talking about a big Edmonton Oilers win. Not only was it a big win last night, it was a complete dismantling of the Minnesota Wild.
Stunner.
We are going to get to that. First, I got to tell you about our friends at Odd Company. We're proud to partner with Odd Company on the all-new Nation Beer. It's called Nation Beer Everyday Lager. Perfect for the next big game. Perfect to be your next go-to lager. Perfect for the last Friday of the week.
Or the first, depending on how you view it.
It's both.
Yep. First or last Friday of the week. Have yourself a Nation Beer. Find it at Odd Company at either of their two locations or go to liquorconnect.com. Type it in there. You'll find a liquor store. If it's not in a liquor store near you, ask them why they're making poor choices with their lives. Good? Good. Tyler?
Yep.
This is your time to shine, pal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're going to talk about a lot of different parts of that hockey game, but Liam and I and Jason Demers had an interesting conversation about it, so I figured I'd throw it your way. Do you think Ryan Hartman deserved to be suspended for his play on Evan Bouchard?
Yeah, I do. And I know I'm biased when I say that, but I do because it was such a needless play at a point in the game where it's so over at that point. It was just dumb. And it was dumb by a greasy player who's got a lot of fines on his record for ticky-tack shit like that there was no reason for it at all.
I like that Zach put them all together. You guys want me to read Ryan Hartman's rap sheet?
Please do.
Starting in October of 2017, I'll save you the dates, just give you what happened. Fined for slashing, suspended 1 game for a hit to the head, fined for spearing, fined for a dangerous trip, fined for slew footing, fined for unsportsmanlike conduct, fined for slashing, suspended for 1 game for interference, suspended 2 games for tripping, fined for high sticking, suspended 3 games for unsportsmanlike conduct.
2 games suspension for tripping?
Slew footing or whatever they call it.
Why,
tripping.
you said both things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but no, yeah, he was suspended for tripping.
Weird. For the play itself in a vacuum, no. But if you have a rap sheet like that and you keep adding to it, then you got to start to do something to stop him from doing this shit.
Hit him in the wallet.
Preferably, we don't really have the option anymore unless Kaner comes back healthy and ready to roll right away. But that's the type of play that gets dealt with on the ice.
Yes.
But like I said, in that when you have that rap sheet going, you do need to do something there. Obviously, finding this dude is not doing anything. The fines are kind of laughable.
Well, yeah,
they're like $3,000, $4,000.
$5,000.
That's literally like 75 cents out of Liam's pocket. It's really
you wouldn't
nothing.
give that up, by the way. I'd like that.
No, he'll fight for those quarters.
Penny pincher.
But it's obviously doing nothing, so you do have to hit him somewhere else. But like I said, that's 2 different views of this. The hit by itself in a vacuum, no. When you look at that rap sheet and you add to it, then yes.
Liam, what do you think?
No, I don't think he should have been suspended. I think you could go with a fine, I suppose, and maybe even an interference penalty into play. But I think he had every right to go for the puck the way he did. And I think Bouchard needs to brace himself a little bit better for
He
the
didn't go for the
impact,
puck,
too.
though. He went for the player.
The puck was right in front of him.
Puck was not touched.
It was not touched.
Yes, but they were both going into like battle for the puck. That was kind of my point. And Bouchard just kind of took the hit. I think Bouchard should have protected himself a little bit better in the moment, so I don't think it should have been a penalty.
I just think he knows what he's doing when he hits Bouchard into the post.
Well, he does. He definitely does.
I don't know. I mean,
100%.
maybe. And I mean, it's not a safe play by any means, but I think like what Demers said in those moments, when he would go into those plays in those moments, he would kind of hold on to the back of the forward player so that stuff like that doesn't happen. You watch Bouchard, he doesn't even look to see where the guy's coming.
Yeah, so that used to be part of the whole interference play, is that back in the day, you were allowed to kind of interfere a bit in order to take away from those types of hits. Then they started calling that, which opened up these types of hits and changed the way they play them. But he wasn't playing the puck at all. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was throwing the player onto the board. Yes, Bouch needs to be more aware or more protective of himself. However, you can't take away what what he did was against the rules in every way. In every way.
I just think, especially at that moment in the game, is 7-1 at that point. Like,
more reason to say he knew what he was doing.
What are you doing, Dan? What do you think?
Why doesn't somebody wearing a white jersey do something about it? there's an opportunity there. And I know they're not all pugilists. I don't know who was on the ice at the moment, but like take an instigator penalty. Do something about it.
Well,
I
that'll
guess
get you
I'm
a suspension though.
I guess I'm old school.
Well, that'll get you a suspension.
No, if you're not,
In
if
the
you're
last 5 minutes,
not, if you're,
we lost Darnell Nurse to this.
yeah, but you got to
And
have
everyone
the-
else gets the play, gets the call taken away against them. We do not get that relief against us. Therefore,
See, I'm of the mindset that you go ahead and you make a shitstorm
And
by
play it.
causing that instigator and having the penalty and the suspension or whatever afterwards, because then you can have a conversation about what Hartman did.
only
the-
one guy may actually would have seen what happened here. To be fair,
Does it like, and that's another part of the whole.
Ekholm should have jumped in there.
The whole
Ekholm
debate
sees
of
it. None of the forwards necessarily saw what happened here, but Ekholm is definitely 3 feet from it.
if your guy is down on the ice, there should be something carnal or something within you that is just makes you want to grab that guy and do something about it. But it doesn't happen. It didn't happen on the play. And like for us as fans, sure. Yep. Suspend him, put a fine on him, slap a fine on him, whatever. But like hockey is supposed to be a game where you make guys respond for that. And I really do hope that the Edmonton Oilers make Ryan Hartman answer for that the next time they play the Minnesota Wild.
Jan 15th.
Yes. And who did Brown fight? That wasn't in response to anything, was it? Specifically?
No.
No, he
Josh
was,
But they
Brown?
did bring him back they brought him in the next game because something happened, and then he went out and fought somebody.
Oh, he fought McEwen.
But something happened.
But
Yeah, Zach McEwen.
Kulak. Hyman got nailed by Jack guy.
Yeah. So something
nothing
happened in the
happened.
game before. Then we put Brown into the next game.
Right.
He fought somebody. So I do anticipate somebody to do something, and hopefully it doesn't have to be Emberson.
Tyler, what do you think?
I think, and I know the league doesn't factor this stuff in, which I think is a bit of a mistake, but like he has a long history of doing greaseball shit, and he could have seriously injured Evan Bouchard. Like, would we be having a different conversation, or Liam, would your opinion be different if the Oilers were like, he's going to be out a while?
Broken collarbone.
I mean, yeah, but I also think the league's decision would have been different too.
But see, to me, that's a mistake. Punish the act, not the outcome. The act was that he did something dumb in a nothing moment in a game that could have hurt someone in a dangerous position on the ice. So I don't listen, I'm not sitting here saying 5 games. I'm saying give him 1 game. Like the fines clearly don't resonate with the guy. Give him another game.
That's kind of where I'm at too. Like, again, you read the list. He's on the rat list for sure.
At least if you gave him a game, that still is a fine, right? It's a game check.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot more than what they're fining him.
Well, again, like you mentioned the fine thing, and I know that's part of the CBA and they negotiate the shit. But like, if you really want to make a difference with fine, they got to be like $100,000, not $5,000.
It's got
So
to,
dumb.
I don't know how it's not scaled to just be like a fine that is a suspension. Like you have 2 days worth of pay removed. Whatever that is to you as a player, you just aren't going to get paid for 2 days because you did something wrong.
Well, that's what a suspension turns into.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. A fine should be kind of like a suspension, but yet you're not hurting your team,
Oh, I see.
right? You're just hurting yourself personally.
Same
You have to
value,
play for
same
free.
dollar value.
Yeah. Anyways, that's another show, another debate for another show. But yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to me for the players on the ice to just kind of throw their hands up in the air and be like, well, the referee will have us. And if the referee doesn't get us, George Peros will have us. I don't know. Why are you leaving it up to the judges? Figure it out.
I
for
wish
yourself.
Matthias Ekholm would have gone. And like, again, Ryan Hartman's way smaller than Ekholm. I know Ekholm doesn't like doing stuff like that and doesn't fight, but like the guy is 8 inches shorter than you. You could have just grabbed him,
You could have just
ragdolled
shook
him.
him around a little bit.
Could have thrown him around, could have punched him a couple times. Yeah, you would have gotten 5 minutes and kicked out, and maybe the NHL would have had to rescind something, whatever. But I don't know. Sometimes I wish the Oilers had a bit more of that in them because they really don't. Like we've seen guys get blown up. Remember the play Zach Hyman got blown up and Kulak, it was that one, right? And Kulak skated up to him, then almost like saw his jet guy and was like, whoop, nope, I'm good. And it's like, come on, like let's fight for each other a little bit more. I do wish that would happen.
I wish the Oilers defenseman had to spend some time with Zdeno Chara for a minute. Cause like I think about like peak Chara. If that happened when he was on the ice, you would have been thrown into the first row probably.
Wade Belak was a large human being,
Mm-hmm.
and Chara grabbed him and treated him like a Barbie doll. It was
Mm-hmm.
one of the craziest things you'll see.
And Ekholm could have done that too. I know like Tyler said that's not in his game necessarily, but like
Grab him by the two, drop both gloves, grab his shoulders, and start doing circles and start shaking him like that.
anyway, if
That
you're
won't
listening
even
to
get you the suspension, I don't think.
probably not. Put a little fear into him though. I mean,
Ready
like,
for some good
I
memes.
imagine Matthias Ekholm when he's angry, he's a terrifying looking individual. He's a big man. If you're listening to this right now, I want to hear from you. Owen Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Should he have been suspended? Give us your take on the delicious debate. You saw the replay for sure at this point. What was the update on Bouchard? Was there one?
So Frank tweeted earlier today that it doesn't seem to be anything too serious. I'll pull up the tweet here and give it to you. Bouchard will be reevaluated today. That's why he wasn't skating with the Oilers. Bouchard had a slight limp post-game and soreness, but otherwise seemed to avoid the worst of it.
Because he looked in tough spot on the bench.
As soon as you see a guy mouth like my knee, you're like, whoa.
Skating today was Emberson with Ekholm, though.
Yeah.
So last season, there was 2 players fined for interference calls in the NHL. Bowen Byram and Mason Marchman. And neither of them were similar to the one that happened last night. They were both pretty much like the puck wasn't even close to the player. And then all of a sudden that player was on the ice. So the NHL clearly is going after the ones that are more late than going into battles for the puck.
Not fair.
That's why I don't think it was.
The fact it wasn't
going for a battle.
The fact it wasn't an interference call still baffles me.
I think the fact it wasn't an interference call, considering what they called Jeff Skinner for in the first period, baffles me.
They probably just didn't call it because, again, it was a 6-1 game.
Yep.
Well, that sucks then. Make the calls.
Yeah, call the rule book.
Yeah.
The refs aren't.
That can't
good.
be an excuse.
Gentlemen, we just had a game where it was 1-0 and no calls were made. The referees do not like to work just like the rest of us.
Amen.
It's even
Amen.
like
I'm very
actually,
lazy.
In the Vegas game yesterday, like Dylan DeMello got called for a tripping penalty with like I think it was just over 2 minutes left, and Vegas tied the game. He barely touched him. So there's just like the standards. Evan Bouchard's injury is nothing major, said Chris Knobloch. 50-50 for tomorrow and listed.
He also said Victor Arvidsson was day-to-day a month ago.
Yeah, he's on
Hard to
Arvidsson
believe.
Island.
Quote tweet that. So was Arvidsson.
Yep.
You do it. I'm not. I can't do it.
He doesn't want to draw attention to
He's got a
himself.
reputation.
He's going to have to mute more people if he does. Again, let us know what you think. Hit us up on socials. Tag us all. I want to know, do you think Ryan Hartman should have been suspended? Changing gears a little bit. Got to give a shout out to our friends at Great Clips. With more than 4,400 hair salons throughout the United States and Canada, Great Clips is the world's largest hair salon brand and official hair salon of the NHL. Salons are locally owned and operated and open 7 days a week. Your time is valuable. Use the Great Clips check-in app. See the wait time, check in on your phone, and get your haircut when you want. For more information, check out greatclips.com. Great Clips! It's going to be great. I'm going to Great Clips this evening, getting a little cleanup.
Holiday cleanup.
Overdue.
It's that time.
You guys got me thinking of injury updates. Did you see Radek Fax's update yesterday?
Yes.
No,
Okay.
what was it?
It was an injury. He's going to miss the game last night after an errant skate nearly made contact with his penis.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Radek
So-
Fax said day-to-day lower body injury.
so
Wait,
so
hold
do we
on a
want more
second.
info or do we want lower body
Didn't
injury?
make contact with, therefore made contact
You
with.
just gave him the fear of his,
He's just
Yeah.
sitting back right now.
He just needs a minute to collect himself.
hyperventilating. I'm going to need a day or two,
Yeah.
guys.
Gosh.
That was close.
And Coach Mike can't even argue. It's like,
No.
you're fine? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little shaken by the
Yeah,
incident.
take the
I
day off.
understand.
I almost got my dick cut off. And he goes,
The rest
"Say
of
no
the
more,
team
fam."
also took the night off because they felt it.
Yeah.
Or was
You guys
Fax
saw
sitting
it.
there? Like Jim Montgomery came out and said exactly what it was. Was Fax like, really? That's the one time we're honest about injuries? maybe we leave out my penis.
Listen, I get it. I might take a day off just in solidarity of him. I won't be here on Monday.
Yeah.
All for one and one for all.
Exactly. I want to touch on last night's dominant win over the Minnesota Wild. The Oilers had not won, courtesy of Tyler Yaremchuk, in Minnesota since February 7th of 2019, where Ty Ratty scored the game winner and then Zach Cassian iced it with an empty netter. I didn't know what to expect last night outside of probably expecting a loss just because they seem to be cursed in Minnesota. What I did not expect was an absolute shit kicking by the Edmonton Oilers over what is a very good hockey team in the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, they're playing like we expect them to. I always said, they got to score goals to win. They're scoring. I didn't expect 7, but
7 different goal scorers too.
which is crazy.
Amazing.
Is Minnesota real?
Yes.
Yeah, they're real. This is just, things have been going so well for them. I think they were just kind of due to have a stinker.
They're also incredibly injured right now.
I thought there were 2
That's-
guys down.
Well, they didn't have Eriksson Ek, they didn't have Brodin, and then Middleton got injured on the first shift of the game yesterday. And there's one other player.
And then they
His
stole
name
our
escaped me.
defenseman.
Sorry?
Then they stole our defenseman.
They did do that. In case you missed
Go
it this
ahead.
morning, the Minnesota Wild claimed Travis Dermott off waivers.
But
Gone but never forgotten.
Never.
the goaltending last night from Minnesota made me feel like early Oilers season goaltending was just, I don't know. It felt like those guys were losing the puck on all kinds of plays. Fleury looked like he was guessing half the time.
Yeah, but I mean, Gustafson's second on the odds board for Vezina. Like he's been. one of the best players in the league. I just think it's a stinker. I think if you're Minnesota, you throw it out and you go, oh, whatever.
Well, that's the only thing that they do about it. But like from an Oilers perspective, what is your takeaway after absolutely going in and running the show that way?
They Minnesota. Like there was a point in that first period where the shots were 11-10, I think, for the Wild. And I was sitting there and I was like, how are the shots even 11-10 right now? Like I feel like Edmonton's just been dominating this hockey game. So I loved the way Edmonton played. That to me was the performance that people around the league should look at and go, oh yeah, the Oilers are in the elite. That slow start was just a slow start.
They're playing
still
April hockey.
Yeah, they're still the Edmonton Oilers.
They're playing hockey that wins you playoff games and series.
Rest of the league should be saying, here comes the Oilers, and not in the way we used to say it.
No,
Should be
that was
saying,
a
oh shit, comma, here come the Oilers.
19 goals for the Oilers in their 4-game win streak versus 5, 6, 7 against. So they are not just winning games, they are demolishing people.
Good.
And I love to see it.
That's what we expect.
Love to see it.
They're making life easy on the goalies too.
Totally.
Like, I think Skinner and Pickard have both played well over this stretch. And
Pickard's above league average on the season now. Here we go.
967 last night for picks.
And they've had to make saves in these games, but they've not had to make like 5 or 6 big saves.
Are we
Well, I
not
feel
one of
like
the
at
best?
start of
Are
the
we
year that was
not one
happening.
of the best defensive teams by the new metrics?
I don't know. The metrics just seem so weird to me.
Do we need to get blue red again? Like, would you get some more graphs?
I think
blue
our
good, red
defensive
bad.
game is very blue.
So, you know, that would honestly be the easiest way to get all these analytics. Just color code them.
Yep.
So the Oilers are playing like a light to medium blue today when we expect them to be a dark blue.
Mhm.
Last night they were more of a medium red.
Yeah, pinkish hue.
Yeah.
Going into the forest green phase.
A big part of last night's win that we have to talk about was that not one of the best games you've seen from Leon Draisaitl in a minute? Like I think about the
4
goal
points.
that Kapanen scored, where he kind of circled around the zone, fought somebody off with one arm, perfect pass to Kapanen, he drains it. Like Leon Draisaitl was on a different level last night.
The
He
kid
only
can
played
play.
1803 also.
They showed
Yet he
him,
still had a goal and 3 assists.
they showed him looking so dashing right at the start of the game, and we should have all known.
That was
Yeah.
his 5th 4+ point performance since the beginning of last season. So, it was one of the better games he's had in the last, call it calendar year here. And Liam, you made the point on ONE. That guy who he just brushed off like it was nothing on that Kapanen goal, it's Marcus Johansson. He's played almost 1,000 games in the league.
Not
Like
nothing.
again, it's crazy to see the run that he's on, leading the league in goals. I think, again, maybe we'll talk about it in the Bet365. Is he the Oilers MVP right now?
Yes. I am on
Arguably.
that team.
Well, luckily it's only December, whatever, and we don't to make that title.
Yes, we
yet.
do.
Do we?
Right now.
Today. You have to
your-
make your decision
What
today.
are we, with 29 games into the season?
My picks is Tony Stretcher.
Tony Stretcher.
Don't let him get hot.
That's exactly right. But go back to Leon. He's now got 10 points in his last 4 games, 4 goals and 6 assists.
How many of those are
out of his mind?
I know you won't be able to pull this up, but how many of those have Connor included in it? Just for he's only good when he has Connor on his
Actually,
line.
did you see that graphic today? NHL said
What
put out
color
the
is it?
With McDavid,
This is gonna be very blue.
it's very blue.
So blue, you almost couldn't see the black rating.
McDavid without Draisaitl, slightly red.
Ooh, McDavid washed.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Sign him now. Value's never going to be lower.
Yeah.
Trade him for
So I'll read. Oh, there's a lot of blue on here, Leon.
I
There's a
know.
lot of blue.
8 of 9 of blue.
From our boy NHL said this season, Leon Draisaitl ranks first in goals, first in even strength goals, first tied in even strength points, first in even strength goals, expected goals,
Of course.
first in even strength. I don't know what this next one is. CSA's private model. They got a private model. I wonder what color it is. And then first in expected wins above replacement. So Leon Draisaitl is out of
Was it
his mind.
CSA
right
or
now.
SCA?
CSA.
Oh, so it can't be scoring chances.
No, I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough to read most of Sid's tweets all the time. So
Yes.
That's why you like the colors?
yeah, I like the colors.
Ooh,
Blue,
very
good. Blue good, red not as good. More of a pinkish hue though.
That's fine.
McDavid without Draisaitl goal share, 45%. That's the pinkish hue.
Damn.
A little bit red.
This is not
A
good.
little bit red. But again, shout out to Leon Draisaitl. He's just playing out of his mind right now. The other thing I want to talk about is the Oilers goaltending. As much was said to be a problem in October is not the case right now. Both guys are just ripping it up. Skinner has got 5 starts in a row above a 935, which is bananas. Last night, Calvin Pickard, 967 against a very good team. He's one of those guys that just, he can sit for a week, he comes in, handles his business, and he's giving the Oilers really effective minutes, which is, I wrote about it this morning at Oilersnation.com, that who would have saw Calvin Pickard giving the Oilers quality backup minutes even a year ago?
Well, definitely not a year ago. This year I did because of last year.
Yeah.
That's why I've never understood the argument. That essentially, I think Jay said this on Real Life the other day. Is like, for everyone that wants to bring in another goalie, you're not replacing Pickard. You're replacing Skinner. But everyone just wants to throw Pickard out the door. And it's like, why? He's easily been their most consistent goalie the entire year. I know, again, 29 games in, there's plenty of time for that to change. But like, he's been nothing but reliable since he joined the Oilers. And the idea of just tossing him to the side is, I've never understood it. I think you pay him $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the best contracts in the league for what he actually gives you in the crease.
Yes.
Last 5 starts, he's got his 4 of the last 5 starts have been above a 903. 3 of the last 5 starts above 909, and then 917, 967. His low watermark was against a Columbus with an 864, but the Oilers outscored any of those issues and still won the game.
But if you remember that game too, 2 of those goals that went in, one of them bounced off 2 players and then found the back of the net.
Yep.
And the other one was that super weird one that somehow ended up bouncing through like the gap here it was random one. So like a fluky one, but those numbers would probably be actually better. And if you watch that game too, you would know that happened and he was good.
The Tyler Yaremchuk supercomputer has done the math. 28 more consecutive saves for Skinner than he's at 900.
That's why he was so quiet for the last 5 minutes.
Yep. I triple checked.
We needed that 36 save shutout. Wasn't that what the math was?
Yep.
There was a lot of people talking after the Oilers lost 1-0 to Vegas that the Oilers don't get goaltending performances like Vegas got from Aiden Hill that night. My first counter to that would be Hill actually wasn't that great. Vegas did a really good job defensively, keeping the Oilers to the outside, and Hill stopped like 3 really good chances in that game that weren't even that great. You could even argue Skinner had that best save in that game when he stopped Hurdle.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking about Skinner doing what he did against Tampa Bay on Monday. I thought he was awesome. He like 2 or 3 chances Tampa Bay had where he just stoned them. He stopped Kucherov on that breakaway. He's like, the Oilers got an awesome game. And I would say you could probably label that as goalieing the Tampa Bay Lightning.
A little bit, for sure.
And it was not mentioned. Like, no one wanted to bring it up. And
No one's going to bring it up.
No, because he didn't
That's why you
allow
don't
5.
hear. You hear very little about Darnell Nurse having a great year right now.
Darryl-
I said that on
great.
Low Tide yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, if you were going to pile on Skinner in October, which fine, he didn't play his best. If you're going to be fair, you have to acknowledge what he's doing right now. Same with Darnell Nurse.
The whole team was trash in October.
Darnell Nurse is playing out of his mind right now. Last night, he got picked up 2 assists, 2 primary assists last night in the third period, brought him to 200 career assists in 666 NHL games. A little bit surprising that he gets an assist every third game.
And he should have, was unlucky not to get one against Tampa Bay as well.
On the Draisaitl play.
The Draisaitl one. And also on the first one, he was the one that started that entire breakout from the end of net. Like, he was the third guy in the scoring chart, I guess we could call him. Like, he's been playing awesome. And like, we got that update from Bouchard, but like, even if Bouchard was to miss a game now, it definitely is far from ideal. But at least Nurse can step up and play those minutes now. Where the last couple of years, he's maybe not as been reliable.
He's playing
plays?
so well.
Who plays if he does?
Alec Regula.
How do we say it? Is it Regula or is it Regula?
I'm going
Arugula.
Did he get a new hockey bag yet?
Was he still there in his Bruins bag?
There's the
Bruins.
Is the P, but yeah.
Providence
Whatever.
Bruins. How about this for a little sneaky under the radar part of picking him up? Because he was on season opening IR and he's whatever, a 2-way deal, his cap hit is $0. So now that the Oilers have lost Dermott, they can keep Regula with them, rehabbing his injury, and he's a $0 cap hit, which means they're accruing once
Until
again.
you play him.
Until you play him. But let's say Bouchard's ready to go. What if the Oilers went 3 weeks, hypothetically, knock on wood, without needing their 7th defenseman. Doing that Dermott for Regula swap gives them however many days of actually accruing cap space again.
And I'm curious about what Regula is, because obviously I've only heard of this player when they claimed him on waivers. I'm not going to pretend like I knew. Bruce Carlock seems to be pretty high on him as a free pick as a waiver claim. He's getting a half point per game in the AHL, which is not nothing for a defenseman.
I've seen a couple of tweets out there that called him a quadruple A player.
Yeah.
So that's right there with our boy Anton Lander, which could be
future captain. There's still time.
Could be very frustrating.
I mean,
But I also think it's like a low risk bet, because right now Tony Stretcher is playing some really good hockey. So having a guy who, maybe can give you some reasonable minutes that you don't need to play, I don't see that as a bad thing.
What's the harm? That's kind of my thought here, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter if he sucks? Honestly, like
Travis Dermott wasn't like, I'm not, when I saw the news he got claimed, I wasn't like rats. I was like, oh.
He was a man who existed to me.
Like Travis Dermott, also quad A.
Yeah, kind of.
Who's your first left-handed call up then?
Well,
there's only one.
There's only one in the organization.
That is actually the only negative part about Dermott going. I guess too, like you lose a little bit of depth, but Bakersfield probably needed another left shot down there because they have one, and then the rest of them are
learn to play on your off wing, boys.
They truly are.
Can we turn some of those right-handed defensemen into
flip them around?
They did. Oh. They traded them for forward. Give them all, 2 of them
lefties. Figure it out.
Like,
Tyler did it with Amber golfing. Like, there's no reason the boys can't figure it out.
Straight up. And she's basically a pro athlete.
Yep. Toss it to him in practice and tell him to figure it out.
Come on, figure it out.
So the Oilers have 4 left-handed defensemen in the entire organization right now.
Correct.
I think if you go down one level, there might be a couple extras, but that's a couple. Hold on a second here. You're telling me
in the ECHL, there's nobody?
I think
they're not under contract.
They're not technically Oilers players. They're ECHL boys at 4.
Well, yeah, but they're under the umbrella.
But if you needed them, you can't call them up.
You would have to sign them. You'd have to sign them from an ECHL deal to a 2-way NHL deal.
But listen, we'll see what sneaky Stan Bowman's got up his sleeve, because he's claiming guys on waivers left, right, and center. And at least with Kapanen, it's kind of worked.
It feels like because Bowman wasn't a GM for a while, maybe he's just like, it's like bored. New toys, right? He's like, oh yeah, waiver claims. That's fun. This is a great job. Claim.
You guys did all the fun stuff in the summer, and now I got to do something here. Well, just a little bit here.
But what do you think about
there?
Like, we're getting to a point where I don't know how you would take Kapanen out of the lineup when people are healthy.
How do you take him out of the top 6?
We were talking about that last night.
Yeah,
I would keep that. Like, let's say, I know it's not happening, but like if Arvidsson was back tomorrow, I think I go Arvidsson, Skinner, Henrique on my 3rd line. And I think, you absolutely keep Kapanen in the top 6.
Hold on, finish your 4th line then. Who's coming out?
Oh, the janitor's driving that bus, baby.
Oh,
12
you flipped
points
him
on the year.
You flipped him.
Okay, but who's coming out of the lineup here still?
Ryan.
I'm thinking,
he got his parting gift.
I know he did the easy thing and just threw a guy in the 3rd line.
Yeah.
Well, no, someone gets forced out here. Who gets forced out?
I had concepts of a plan.
Well, we're putting you on the spot now. Who's coming out?
I still think you can make it Connor Brown.
Yeah.
You're taking out Connor Brown?
I think
maybe.
so.
The guy who scored shorthanded last night?
Yes.
Really? You're taking out Connor Brown?
I think if I had to make a decision to get Arvidsson back in, Brown would be the guy.
Over Derek Ryan?
Only because you need a center. Unless they wanted to give Yam out
Derek
to center,
Ryan's faceoff numbers this year are very good.
Connor Brown played center in Ottawa. He did it.
Hey, if you want to, one of those guys playing 8 minutes.
And most of the time they're not taking draws anyway.
And if you take a draw, you can do the 29 takes a draw, then goes off right away. Like
there you go. Maybe you can do that. And then, on the fly.
Yeah, we're flipping them.
Maybe Henrique goes out for faceoffs with that. I don't know. I guess you could just make it work. Derek Ryan, for the record, would be the first person taken out if I could just have the 12 best forwards.
We're going 13.
But if you wanted the centerman, then it's probably Brown. Oh, hey, like saying Corey Perry for a game 2 isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, like honestly,
39.
The guy who scored 2 games ago.
Hey, I don't want any.
It's just fun I can say this right now. Yeah, it's just fun I can say this. Oh, you mean the guy who scored 2 games? Oh, you mean the guy who scored shorthanded?
Everyone has scored in the last 2 games. Troy Stetcher has 2 goddamn goals. Nominated for the Norris.
Liam tweeted last night, you don't let that guy get hot.
No. It's going to burn you.
Tony Stretcher.
It is interesting though. Like again, Dermott got claimed today from the Wild, but Troy Stretcher, fuck now I'm calling him Tony Stretcher. Tony Stretcher just stole his job straight up.
Yep.
He's been playing awesome.
There's a lot of dog in that fight. Or fighting that dog. Either way.
Well, Sean Pang tweeted out that video last night of just like his footwork on the blue line and like his ability to find the middle of the ice and just find lanes. And he's found a role, and credit to him. It's difficult to win over this fan base in some days, and you just haven't heard his name muttered in a negative
Well,
way.
enjoy your role because it's going to be gone in a couple of months because I don't see him playing over top of Emerson, and they're going to have to bring someone in to play that spot.
But Stetcher's a great
seven. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. It just
But I think that's interesting.
he's not.
But why is he not? He's currently playing. And I think it's an interesting debate because I thought about this too. He's playing top 4 minutes right now. Emerson also doing awesome.
Very good.
But wouldn't it just make sense to bump them both down once you get that next guy? But Emerson, you're our seventh guy. And you rotate them in and out however you need it. I know
You take
Emerson's on the
Emerson
phone.
out?
Again, it's a similar situation to what do you do when Albertson comes back? Like,
Yeah.
how do you fit him in? Because they're both playing so well. I
Playing
don't
really
feel
well.
rotate.
Good problem.
Don't forget because
Yeah.
you have Evander Kane coming back one day too. So 2 forwards that have to come out of last night's lineup.
It's good.
It's a really cool problem to have.
Yeah, we don't go through this very often.
We just get to argue about it. We don't got to make this decision. It's fun. It's good.
I don't have to.
Looking at Ty Emerson though last night, I'll check in with you, Dan. The hockey fights angle from it. That was a scrap last night. They were really chucking him.
Yeah, it's definitely, it was unexpected for sure when I saw the two guys that were going at it.
Was there any history between them? Because it looked like he just like skated up to him and said, "Hey, let's go," and he was like, "Yep."
I don't think so. No, I don't.
So
think
I
that
felt like they had something from before.
maybe, but I didn't. I haven't
Emerson's
seen
interview
anything
was very funny. He was just like, "Oh, so you went last night?" He goes, "You wanted me to go?" So I said, "Yes." Okay.
Respect
That's a
it.
hockey player.
All
it
right,
was
then.
there was a
But the uppercuts, the swinging from the shoelaces, I love a good tilt, and they got in a good one last night. It was a good scrap. Looking at hockey fights right now. Guys, go over and vote on this fight at Hockey Fights right now because I think it deserves more love than it's getting. Looking at the traffic on it, that was a good tilt. If you are a fan of the fisticuffs, pop on over there. Have a look-see.
appreciate it.
I like that. I like it a lot. Got to change gears a little bit, going to a former friend. Vinny Desharnais, Rick, has already popped up in rumors in Vancouver that they are looking for a better fit per Elliot Friedman, which I find puzzling given that they played against him in the second round of the playoffs. You kind of know what he is. They went out and signed him to the 2x2,
They
and
had a
we're
guy like him.
less than 30 games in, and he's already on the block.
I honestly, they started healthy scratching him a while ago. So the fact that it took this long for a rumor to come out is a little bit surprising to me. I didn't like the signing from the beginning. They have large defensemen like that already. You can't just have a bunch of them. We played Nintendo ice hockey. You can't have a team of 3 fat guys. You need a fat guy, a middle guy, and a skinny guy.
Yep.
And you can't just have
That's how you put your lineups together back in
Sure.
NHL 94.
Yeah. You can't just have all big dudes. So I didn't like where he went in the first place. Yeah, it sucks to see, but his bank account probably still smiling pretty nicely.
Hey, man, get 2 schmilly. Like, why not? Tyler, what do you think about the Desharnais stuff in Vancouver?
Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing because you like the guy, right? And he was his story was really cool when he got here, and he was obviously a contributor for a couple of years. But I don't know. I saw people online, oh, would you be interested in a reunion? Like, no, even if the Canucks get 50%, like I want to keep playing Emerson. I like Stetcher as my eventual 7. He's good for now. You have enough of these right shot guys in your system. So I'd love to see him get a fresh start somewhere else where he can actually like play and do his thing. I don't think it should be in Edmonton, and also LOL at the Canucks because I like laughing at their misery.
Yeah, they just tried to build the biggest blue line ever. And ironically, Quinn Hughes was their best defenseman, and he is the smallest defenseman ever.
I think it's interesting
I'm the
that
angriest.
I thought Vinny would be more of a Rick Tocchet guy than he clearly is.
Yeah, me too.
You know, but like we see it with Vasily
There's a bunch of
Podkolzin.
them.
Like Podkolzin has found a spot next to Leon right now, and he's making it work. Given his work rate, how is that not a Rick Tocchet player?
Yeah.
But whatever, for a 4th round pick, that is a great deal for the Oilers.
There's some weird stuff going on in Vancouver though. Like, I don't know. I peek in from time to time, and it feels like there's just question marks all around. JT Miller's gone for 3 and 4 weeks, and
He's back.
yeah, and he's back, and he doesn't want to talk about it. And it's just kind of, I don't know. It feels like Vancouver is just topsy turvy.
That's too bad.
It is an interesting. I don't know about them.
And they're going to lose their soccer team right away. The whole city's crumbling.
Yeah, that would actually be kind
Are they really?
Yeah,
No, they're
just
up for
got
sale.
bought.
They don't want to lose them, but they're up for sale.
Yeah. The other thing too, like everyone just talks about Demko. It's like when Demko's back, it's going to be different. It's like, hey, Demko's injured all the time.
Yep.
He can be back for like 2 months and then just like tweak his groin again and be gone for another 2. It's hard to rely on him. So Vancouver.
There's those core
We'll
injuries,
see.
man. Those are scary. I remember Martin Havlat had them way back when.
Yeah.
And that dude couldn't shake him. Every year he had something. And you're not playing like a goalie. Goalies stretch out way more.
Oh, yeah. Looking at the Pacific Division really quickly, the Vegas Golden Knights are 5 points up on the Oilers with 41. LA's in second at 37 points. Oilers are now in third at 36. Then goes Vancouver, Calgary, Seattle, San Jose, Anaheim. Any other surprises to you guys from the Pacific Division so far?
I mean, LA again. I
Yeah,
guess.
LA's. Sorry, yeah, we had the
No,
same
no, no.
answer. I'm
You
surprised to
carried
see
on.
them where they are and that they've been able to do it now for 29 games without Drew Doughty. That's the big thing for me is like, man, when they get Doughty back, are they going to be better? Are they going to add? Rob Blake, according to Frank, wants to go make a move. So the Kings may be a bit more of a serious threat than I thought they'd be.
Calgary looking like kind of what we thought they might be, albeit later than we thought. They are 3-5-2 in their last 10. Seattle, they're going to be an interesting one going towards the deadline. See how much they actually sell. San Jose and Anaheim both stink, which we all expected.
Seattle can catch. Well, I guess they're 3 games up on them.
I think San Jose are a little bit better than I thought they were going to be. I know they get the odd game where they get demolished and it's probably going to get worse for them now that they have Gorgiev. They're better, and I think that's good for them to compete. You can't get blown out every single night. You need to actually win some games. Anaheim is interesting, just based off what Cronin, like, some guys don't like him, right? Like, it's a bit of a different style. So I think they could really, really fall back again.
Yeah, I think the Ducks are in a bad spot.
Remember that year they were unreal with Dallas Eakins?
Till like December 15th or something.
Well, they like really pushed for the playoffs one year, and then the next year they were the worst team in the league.
That sounds like a
Classic.
Dallas Aikens hockey team, doesn't it?
Yeah. What he's up to?
Instituted the Swarm. One day it's going to take off. You'll
Why
see.
is that word not in the prison over there?
Banned word
Swarm?
list.
Yeah.
Because the scars remind us the past is real.
Well, that's fair.
The
No?
only word in there right now is the former manager of the Blue Jays.
Why is he up there?
I don't know.
Gibbons?
Can't say it.
He's
Like
like
Gibson.
he's like
John
Gibby,
Gibson.
though.
Gibson.
Oh, Gibson.
Gibby.
Wait, yeah, Gibson isn't the old manager, is he?
No,
It's
I
just a
did.
random
I made that
name.
mistake too.
I just
Got
like to
it.
say it. We should put Gibbons up there just to confuse people.
Yes.
John
Absolutely.
Gibbons and John Gibson.
Yeah, you can't say either of them. John Gibbons, really.
Oh, I genuinely thought it was John Gibbons.
I'm going to put Cito up there just for funsies.
Dallas Aikens is the head coach of Adler Mannheim.
Yes.
Really?
He's both the head coach and sports manager.
The hell does that
Sports
mean?
man.
I don't
He's
know.
the equipment manager.
Yeah, he's carrying
Those are his
bags.
2 titles, and the club used to have 2 different guys doing that.
What league is that?
Germany.
German Elite.
I think Adler is one of the better teams over there. I think quite a few NHLers go through that program.
Yeah, I think so. Who? Well, let me tell you.
Any
who said-
former friends on that roster?
That's what I was just going to click.
Yeah, I
Um,
do love
I
that.
got
It's
it.
no
Um,
Dusseldorf, who I'm repping right now.
Esposito, Christian Reichel.
Oh, yeah, you are.
It's with Kyle Comiskey as their star
Oh,
player.
Luke Esposito.
Yeah, I just said that.
Okay.
Did you?
Mhm.
You guys,
Yeah,
are,
no,
you guys
yeah.
are you're
Marcus Hannakainen.
Arnakainen?
No,
Timu?
different guy, no relation.
Wow.
I have a theory that's why the coaches
Oh.
are separated now. That's why Tyler and Liam are separated. They felt some spiciness building
There's
up
always
in their
tension.
relationship.
Yeah.
Tyler
there's
Ennis played for the Adler Mannheim.
You
Classic.
just said that.
No.
No, he did not.
This all stems that we didn't get the foot race this summer in between you two.
Oh,
There's still a
another
lingering
one.
tension.
Chet Pickard played for Adler too.
Relation to Cal?
They are brothers.
Hell yeah. Chet and Cal, that's 2 names you can set your watch to, you know?
Our pal Chet.
Thursdays are for Cal. Pickard only plays Thursdays now.
That's fair. At least he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he's got it on the rotation. Tells
Any
parents to come.
other final news items that you guys want to bring up before we move along? Got Ask the Idiots questions coming up for you. I know you're very excited about that.
Oh, I think that's everything I wanted to get off my chest.
All righty.
Want to talk more about Radek Faxa's injury report?
Listen, that's going to be my new cold performer. I didn't know about that, but if you almost got his schmeckel cut, I am taking days off in solidarity with him. Makes sense. I will never forget when Grebishkov had his nut erupt after taking a shot to the right to the pills. So
Matt Hendricks.
never forget.
Never forget.
That image of his can is still imprinted in
It's
my
in the
mind.
Hall of Fame.
Should be.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Ask the idiots, gentlemen.
First.
I doubt it. Sniff test though. Sniff
Like
test.
a very loud video.
Nice musical interlude.
Tyler's enjoying some content in the podcast.
Good to know we're really entertaining you, Tyler.
Yep, he is over this podcast. We're going to get to ask.
No, I'm actually trying
He
to find
said
a
he got
cold
everything off
performer.
his chest.
I
Yeah,
have
he
like
did.
4 hot performers, but no cold performers, so I'm starting to stress.
I feel like there's a funny bit for us if you go to you did like the I think you should leave bit when any of us are looking at our phone or we've lost the argument, so we're tracking into our
Yeah.
phone. Good shit.
Tim
Was that
Sussler play for Adler.
Okay. All right, Mannheim, we're good.
What about Dusseldorf? I'm wearing the jersey. You got to tell me.
That is a
Never
nice
heard
jacket.
of
Thanks.
He's back on Twitter.
Heard
already.
of them.
Ask the idiots time, boys. I've got 3 questions for you. 2 are hockey related. One's about Christmas. Happy Chrysler. Brought to you by nationgear.ca. There's a bunch of new threads up there, including the holiday sweater that is up. The boys are giving away a bunch of them at our Citizens Christmas party last night. They are looking sharp. I thought you guys were very handsome in those Christmas
Thank you.
sweaters.
Yeah.
And I think you will be too if you're listening to this. Go to nationgear.ca. Get yourself something. Or maybe you sign up for the Nation Vacation that just launched to Vegas. That is coming up March 30th to April 2nd. We are going down to Vegas. I'm very excited about that. So that trip is going to sell out. I promise you that. So go get your spot before you run out of time. If you're buying some clothes though, use Bag Milk 10, get 10% off your order. That does not work on a trip. Or you can use
Tyler 10.
Oh,
holy
Sorry, I was just
cow.
looking up. Sean Bell played in Adler as well.
Enough.
Go to nationgear.ca, check out our wares, and sign up for the Nation Vacation to Vegas. You are going to have a good time. I promise you of that. All right, gentlemen, we've got 3 questions. Ask the idiots. 1, let's start off the Oilers question. This one comes in from Cliff. Tyler, are the Oilers back, or is this a temporary heater?
All the way back. All the way back. This is the regression to the mean that we were waiting for in early November. This team is deep. This team has a lot of really good proven players on it. The goaltending is finally getting back to the level we expected. They're back.
Dan, what you got? Oilers back, or is this a temporary heater?
this is just temporary. It's going to be. No, I'm just joking. I think that they're back, and I really we keep talking about it, but the less you hear about the defense, I think the better things are going to be for the Oilers. And we've heard less about Darnell and Evan than ever before. So yeah, the Oilers are back.
Rick, what do you think?
They're just on the up and up. That's kind of what we expected of this year.
Are you saying they're not even back yet?
They're not playing their best yet? There is better to come.
Rick
They're
thinks
better
there's a
to come.
17-win streak coming.
Just scored 7 goals. He's the best team in the league right
The
now.
best defensive team in the league.
Still got things to figure out, boys.
There was a goal
Can't
against.
believe you allowed one.
There was a goal against.
Yep.
You got to clean that up. You got to clean that up. You're
Always
never
room
happy.
to
You
improve.
got to block that rouge.
Never happy. On to the next game.
I could think about some kind of hockey equivalent of a rouge. That'd be excellent. Liam, are the boys back, or is this just a temporary heater?
They are back. And it's a great time to have a heater as well. You're going into the toughest part of the schedule they've had all year.
I say the Oilers are absolutely back, as we talked about on would have been the Tuesday episode of the podcast, just how tough this run of games were. And so far they are 2-0 against 2 very good hockey teams.
I believe
And
last night was called a scheduled loss.
supposed to be.
You
It's
get bounced
supposed
out
to
of
be.
those. That's a big thing.
So yeah, they're back. And I think that there's still some guys who probably need to find their goal scoring touch. And if that happens, the Oilers are going to score even more than they already are. Boys are back, but still room to improve. You get a sunshine sticker from me though. That's important. Liam, we're reversing the order. This one comes in from Alan. What changes would you make to the offside review process, given what happened with the Hyman offside goal being waved off earlier in the week after 36 seconds?
Someone said this to me last night. I thought it was a good idea. I think if there's a change of possession in the offensive zone, when you go into the zone, you can't review it. So if you go into the zone offside and it's not called and it's close, you're cycling the puck around, and then, for example, Minnesota get the puck, they play it around a little bit, don't get it out and you get it back, then you can't review the offside.
I talked to that same person last night. I think that's genius.
Yeah, it's a clever idea.
Like, because then it gets rid of the egregious ones on breakaways or 2-on-1s or things like that.
Yeah.
But again, if you're a team and you have a chance to get the puck out and you don't, you lose the right to bitch that it was offside 45 seconds ago. You could have gotten the puck out.
I wrote that on the website, so they're claiming my idea, but I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
If there's a change of possession in the offensive zone, like, what are we doing?
But I don't like that goals get taken back, but I do like that the correct call is made.
Sure, I like the correct call is made. There also could
Replay
be like
in
maybe
real
there's a
time.
time limit of some
Replay in
kind.
real time.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, like
That's
if
a
you
good
go over a minute in the offensive zone or 36 seconds in this case, like, come on. The offside that close really had no bearing on the goal.
The only thing I don't like about that, like the idea of like 30 seconds or a minute, is then you just run into a whole different issue of like, oh my God, it was 29.95 seconds. And then
Hey,
it's like,
that's the rule.
I know, but I don't know. I like the possession idea.
The possession one makes more sense to me. Dan, what do you think?
I just don't have any problem with it at all. They got the right call on the ice. It sucks that it went against us, but that is why they brought in offside reviews in the first place. I just don't think we need to be complaining about it now that it's getting the things done right and getting it done quickly.
At the end of the day, it's just another reason to hate Matt Duchene.
Yes.
He was 12 feet offside, and now we have to do
It's
this.
not his
Handsome,
fault. It's
can
the guy-
play the guitar, millionaire, and this.
It's the guy who gets paid to decide whether it was offside or not.
Yeah, they were really nailed it in on that one. Really
That
nailed it
dude
in.
really fucked up everybody
I don't know why he gets so much debate every time it happens.
because it
people-
means like so little.
Because society is angry, William, and they need to find something to be mad at.
Play in real time.
Greg,
If you can see it in real time, cool. If not, play on.
Or the other angle is like put a
remember
time
what it
limit on the review.
That's fine too.
I don't think you can do that either.
They did in the NFL. The NFL is the biggest sport in the biggest
Yeah.
league in the world.
I think the only way you could do it is if the ref didn't know how much time he was getting. And like
Oh, they just was like,
Sometimes 7 seconds, sometimes it's 3 minutes and 32.
No,
Hold on.
I don't know.
Hold on. The coach has called a review. We're going to go to the wheel on the scoreboard to see how long it's going to be.
Now, that would be awesome. But you're like, the ref doesn't know. He gets a minute, for example, but he doesn't know how, like, he's not a timer.
But the ref's not really looking at it anyways. Toronto is.
I just,
That's true as well.
again, this is why review is here, is to just fix this. And they're going to get better and faster every single time they do a review. Just straight up.
Yeah, but
That's
I think
why it was
what people
36
are-
seconds.
I think the people are less upset about the time it takes for the review and more the fact that it had such a small impact on the play.
But he's offside.
But
Yeah,
even
that
then,
really
you can't.
is
Even
the
then, you
argument.
can't. Even then, you can't exactly prove that because they don't have a camera that goes right down the blue line,
But
and there's no wire. There's no.
The best way to do
They're not
it,
using all technology available right now.
that is correct. The
Thank
best
you.
way to do it is just bring in the technology. You get like the red laser that goes across the ice. You can't touch it, otherwise your leg will fall off.
Everyone's jumping
That
over the
goes
blue line to go in
across.
now.
As soon as you said laser,
And
that's
no
where
one
my
would be
brain went.
offside.
like I think about soccer. If your ass cheeks are offside, they know.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is dumb, but that's a totally different debate. But like they know, and that's how they
Well, why not
decide.
stand in that direction first place?
Tennis with the ball vision.
Yeah, like it's
Tennis is probably the best example of them doing it right and always.
so. There's another rule actually in soccer, which I don't think many people know. So you obviously can't score a goal with your hand or arm in soccer. So if you're
Except that one time.
if
Yeah,
if you're
Maradona.
stood on the line, offside, and your entire arm is offside, then you are not offside because you cannot score with your arm. So maybe that's the way to do it too. Like technically, you can't like kick the puck, right? So I wonder if there's like a way you. It's a bit more. We're getting complicated here, but like I don't know.
Stick has to stay
I think
onside.
technology is the easiest way to help this rule.
Yep.
Final question, nationgear.ca. Ask the idiots. If you want to get in on the segment on Fridays, just slide into my DMs. I ask the boys these questions and they don't get a chance to look at it. Rick, I'm starting with you. What is the most overrated Christmas food? Very important.
Oof. I mean, if you go,
Overrated Christmas food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying. Are we talking like traditional dinner?
But you can take this wherever you want.
Yeah,
Color outside the lines here,
I'm
pal.
just gonna stick to like cranberry sauce. Like I don't see what it elevates anything on that plate or anything on the table.
I like the way it holds its form, though.
Yeah, like dog food. It's you still have the indentions of the can around it. Like it's got laces like a
That's
football.
the good stuff.
It's got laces like a football.
If you get your homemade cranberry sauce out of here,
It doesn't help anything on the plate.
unless I can slice off a thin slice that still maintains the can indents, I don't want it.
She's a razor.
Dan, most overrated Christmas food.
Mashed potatoes.
What?
You've been riding the
Crazy
coattails of turkey and Christmas for too long.
Wow.
You need to spice it up. I'm
That
going
is
to give it to mashed
controversial.
potatoes.
Holy
Whoever's
cow.
making their mashed potatoes has to do more than just mash the potatoes after
Mhm.
they boil them.
That's
You gotta
that's
add
part
some
of it.
Ingredients to them.
Yep, that's fair.
Holy cow.
Yep.
Controversial. Tyler, most overrated Christmas food.
Eggnog.
Oh,
Good
that's
call.
a
Good
good
call.
I'm not a big eggnog guy.
Yeah, we had this debate
Very
yesterday on Real Life. I
Yeah.
do love me a nog with a spiced rum, though.
I don't really get it.
Liam, what's on your list?
I think turkey is a bit overrated.
Holy.
Yeah,
Holy.
a little bit.
I went after
I
a
mean,
side dish. You
to
went
be
after the
honest,
main.
You went after
menu.
the star of the show.
You went after the king. This is ridiculous.
Well, England's ran by a queen typically.
Are you
Well, right
more
now
of
you have
a
a king.
I know.
Are you
tell
more
me
of a
about
ham
it.
person, Liam?
No, I mean I
Hold
don't.
on, you
I
having a
like-
vegetarian dinner?
Okay, let me get something straight here. You asked me what the most overrated food was. Correct?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't say I don't like turkey. I said turkey's overrated. You're the one out here.
I can't believe you're trying to
slandering
cancel
mashed
turkey.
potatoes. You could
Ridiculous.
just have roast potatoes, Rick, and be happy. But
Yeah.
no, you're out here, mashed potatoes. Gotta
It's
add all
easier to
this.
make mashed
No.
potatoes in a large quantity as you have to feed everybody.
Mm.
You'll be fine. Turkey is the answer.
Oh my goodness. I'm
Hundreds of people will agree with me.
disappointed with a lot of
Go to
you.
Liam's
Well,
I
vegetarian
was-
dinner.
Sugar cookies.
What?
Yeah, no, honestly, I was gonna say a bunch of desserts, but that's
Like
not-
those are the ones that come in that tin that looks like they should have grandma's sewing kit in it.
The
Yep.
best.
Get those dusty pieces of shit out of my house.
How's
Wow.
grandma supposed to get her sewing kit if you don't eat the cookies?
Well,
we did once. Grandma only needs one sewing kit.
Yeah,
Well.
just- that thing's been the same kit since 1960.
Yeah.
Get your sugar cookies out of here. I got no time for them.
Damn, that's
There are so many
disappointing.
better cookies than sugar cookies. They come around at Christmas. I don't even get it.
Christmas.
Also, if you like fruitcake, I just got beef with you in general.
Do you guys listen to a lot of Christmas music just like throughout the season?
I listen to it mostly in August and September.
Yeah, what are you talking about in season?
No, but like
Is there a season for Christmas music?
I like don't listen to music that much around my house, but at Christmas music is always on. Like throughout all of December, it's just
All of December?
yeah. Just
Like I
roll
can
it.
get into it like the last couple of days. Then you go like
The bill.
that's when you have it on in the car. That's when you have it on in the
Oh,
house.
I don't do it in the car,
Yeah, I don't do it in the car either.
but at home I like to have it on in the background and you're just in the kitchen singing.
Yeah,
jingles.
what's
see, like
your
December
what's your
7th, I feel
ultimate
it's too
Christmas
early.
album then? I'll tell you
Christmas
mine. Boney M
album?
Christmas.
I don't really
Doesn't
have
get
an
better than
album,
Boney
I
M
just
Christmas.
Listen to songs. My favorite Christmas song, probably Mariah Carey.
Fun fact: first ever Christmas song to hit 2 billion streams on Spotify.
Was Mariah Carey.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Hawaiian one too.
Melekaliki Maka is Hawaii's way.
Yeah, that one.
That one's
That's
fun.
A little different.
That's nice. I like the
Oh, just
uh,
classics. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I like Fa La La by Justin Bieber and Boys to Men.
Oh, what about the other one with Justin Bieber?
Under the mistletoe.
Oh, what's it called?
The Drummer Boy.
The Drummer Boy.
Yeah, it's good.
Got
Got a little little rap in there.
It's actually awesome.
Yeah, I do like it.
That's the one I listened to in August.
Shout out to Young Peeps. Anyway, nationgear.ca, go get yourself a holiday sweater or join us on the nation vacation to Vegas. That trip's going to sell out. The only question is, are you going to be there? Let's talk a little betting for our friends at Bet365. As we were putting this together today, I saw that the lines are up for tomorrow's game against the Vegas Golden Knights. The betting segment is brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of Oilersnation Radio. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use the code NATION. NATION. The code is NATION. Tyler, I know you wanted to pull some stuff up on your betting side, so I'll give you some time to prep for that. Just looking at some lines here, the early lines. Currently, the Oilers are heavily favored tomorrow, minus 160 on the money line. Do you think that line is fair?
No. I feel that's pretty heavy for two teams that almost are a coin flip and one has the home.
That's where I'm at too. Like I
maybe
thought it'd be closer to
130?
pick 'em.
Yeah, I would have had 130.
160 is kind of heavy.
160 is a little bit wild.
Like is Vegas hurt or something?
I think it's
I think they're healthy.
You know what they're calling in the Edmonton flu.
Yes.
Will happen.
They went to spin the bat around. Everybody has a good time. Who knows where
Uh-huh.
day goes from there?
Vegas's injured list right now is just Ben Hutton. Even Mark Stone's playing. So, yeah, they're healthy.
For now.
Oh,
I think it's time for
He's got to be nobody touch him tomorrow. Don't give him an LTIR reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think Edmonton fans have to start to recognize that we are the public favorite. people like the Edmonton Oilers this year.
That's
to
fair,
win.
but we're not number one, I guess, whichever in to win the division, are we?
No, we are not. It's still Vegas.
So if we
that
win
right there.
tomorrow, that's 3 points
Yeah.
Put on a game.
and a
to
game in hand, do we not? Or did we clear that last night?
I cleared last night. They got both
Yeah.
29 games.
So yeah, you're on 3 points back. Decent spot though if you want to
With
jump
two,
on
yeah,
it.
with two.
Got to take
2
advantage of the
games.
4-point game tomorrow, I think.
It's a must. It's pretty close to as close to a must win as you can get in December. Because if you want to catch
Spiritually,
Vegas,
at
you
least.
need, you need
Especially-
one. You need one.
especially after having to lose.
Can't
that
go on
last
3.
game.
If you want to get a little juicier, if you're feeling frisky, the Oilers puck line currently listed at plus 165. Again, even I think that's a little bit like,
It's a big
again, it's
jump.
Vegas.
It's such a big jump.
It is a big jump, but I
For
even thought
one
like
goal?
it'd be a little juicier than that to win.
For one goal, you're
Yeah.
gonna jump from minus 160 to plus 165.
Mm-hmm.
One empty net goal. That's insane.
Over under set at 6 tomorrow. Over is minus 120. Under is plus 100. It is a pick 'em to go under. Obviously, it was a 1-0 game last time. Interesting. Looking at the futures, I haven't checked in on the Stanley Cup odds in a while. The Oilers are still a number one. They are favored currently plus 750, which makes my plus 900 that I got them at a little bit earlier in the season make me feel good. Got them after a couple of losses, threw a couple of extra dollars on there. Appropriate, Tyler? Plus 750?
Yeah, I mean, I do think they deserve to be the favorites, and they're starting to play well. So I don't think you're even going to get a better price on them this year. I think it's just where they're at.
What do you got over there?
Hart Trophy odds. Connor McDavid moved into second on the list. It's Kaprizov plus 160, McDavid plus 250. Then you have to go all the way down 3, 6, 9, 10th on the list. Draisaitl 33-1.
How does that make sense?
It's crazy to me because I think again Draisaitl's probably been their MVP versus McDavid, but
That's the heart.
That's the heart.
What about the Art Ross?
Maybe a little
McDavid-
sprinkle on the heart. at
McDavid and
33-1.
McKinnon tied for first plus 165.
And then
The Rocket.
Yep.
The Rocket Richard Draisaitl's the favorite at plus 320. That's tempting.
It's one of those trophies I would love to see him add to the old case outside of the big silver one.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to see it. He's scoring goals. Like he's scoring goals with his mind right now. Against Tampa, he shot the puck, but that's not how it went in.
and Hyman had to steal one from him.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Could it hit even a smaller part of his stick? Is that possible to hit a smaller part of his stick?
Well, last night, like I had, we did a 3-leg parlay, Tyler, Jay, and I, and my leg was Draisaitl goal. So I'm like, check that off the list. And then Liam goes, no, they gave it to Hyman. I'm like, what?
I had that too. But then he got it.
You got it
I
for
mean,
me
just
later.
standing there as small as possible. It still goes off his stick.
Yeah. Zachary, you rascal. Anyway, there goes your betting segment. Make sure to do so responsibly. Of course, if you are going to sign up for a betting account, do so with Bet365. Open an account with Bet365 today and bet on a huge range of markets. Use the code NATION to do so. Those are your lines for tomorrow. I imagine they're going to move a little bit. Still think the money line's a little heavy. Let's wrap up the podcast here, gentlemen. Hot and cold performers, courtesy of Liam paid for this segment today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We'll be debiting your paycheck going forward for the next 6 months.
Whoa.
As we do every week, we start off with our veggies, and I'm starting with Liam because he's paying for the segment. Your cold performer of the week.
Cold performer of the week is myself because I have barely started my Christmas shopping. And I ordered a few things off Amazon and I got a refund on them because they were out of stock. So I'm in a bit of a hole and it's my own fault.
I believe.
May
in
I
you.
interest you in some Keurig cups?
Well, that's why I'm coming to the Christmas party next weekend.
Seeing Waz ask Jay if he bought himself a Keurig in anticipation of our nation Christmas party on Wednesday was very funny to me. Very, very funny. Listen to last year's Christmas recap episode if you need the refresher. Rick, you're up. Cold performer of the week.
This has to be one of the worst sentences of all time, especially if it's somebody that you're supposed to be looking at and hoping is driving your vehicle to where you want it to go. But just to be grateful to be part of the process was the exact quote from Ross Atkins after they were missed out on. And to be fair, I think so going there is fine. I think as long as you spend your money elsewhere, you'll be better. But to come out of this and say we are just grateful to be part of the process is such a loser mentality.
Totally.
It is embarrassing, and he should have been fired about 45 seconds after saying that.
I'm upset. Big puck energy.
The Jays have gotten cucked two
Terrible,
off seasons in a
man.
row. Like
Yeah.
they're just
We're just-
driving up the price at this
We're
point.
just glad to be a part of the process. You're fired. Go.
Yeah,
We will never win with that mentality.
totally agree.
Mhm.
Weird thing to say publicly.
Embarrassing.
Nation Dan, you're up. Cold performer of the week.
This one's actually from a little bit ago. I was pointed in the direction of the Halford and Brow show from Vancouver on November the 15th. Marty McSorley was on it. And my cold performer of the week is going to go to Marty McSorley, who, if you take some time to listen to this podcast, he completely has rewritten the Bouchard incident to make him somehow the victim of it all. And he believes that he didn't even hit Bouchard in the head. So McSorley for being absolutely warped, the Vancouver Giants for bringing him in on a Legends night, the Legends of the Sin Bin night, just all around bad. So Marty, you get my cold performer of the week.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It was so bad that I had to go back and watch the video again just to remind myself of the fact that he didn't connect it with his shoulder pad like Marty believes, and did in fact try to chop the guy's head.
Didn't it
After
bounce
having
off
two
his
fights.
shoulder pad and go hit him in the head?
That's what Marty says. I don't think so.
Oh, well, I do think he meant to hit him in the shoulder, not the head. However, it doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
result is
Yeah.
the result. This goes down to it's stupid.
Tyler Yaremchuk, the Liam Horrobin cold performer of the week.
Oh man, yeah, he definitely hits him straight in the head. My cold performer of the week is Torts, who went on a weird rant about how he's given up on fighting against the Michigan. It's weird that the Flyers have a generational-esque player or close to generational player in Michkov, and Torts already is on like his third public feud with him. It's ridiculous. Torts, the act is tired. Cold
We
performer.
have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
My cold performer of the week is some of you probably listening to this right now. We drive in snow every year around here. We're used to it. It's part of living in Edmonton. However, some of you fucking idiots need to pull it together. I don't know what is going on with some of you that don't drive for the seasonality of the roads. But the other day when it was really dumping, I was on the White Mud just going home, and it was going slower than normal. Of course it was. It was dumping snow. There were cars everywhere kind of thing. There's some hardos just whipping by and weaving in and out of traffic as if your truck is going to stop much quicker than it will on the snow and ice. So figure it out, man. Let's just all get home safely. Yeah, it's Christmas.
Oh, that's cold.
All right. Flip it around. Hot performers of the week. I'm taking this one first because I'm selfish. I want to give a hot performer of the week to everybody that came to the Nation Citizens Christmas party last night. It was a really, really cool event that we had here at Dog Patch. It was the first time we've ever done one here. I thought Kennedy did a great job kind of organizing it. Tyler did a great job hosting. It was fun to see the boys doing the pre and post game show from the DJ booth. So that whole night last night was the first of many downstairs. I promise you that. It was just a fun night.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Tyler, you're up next. Hot performer of the week.
NHL marketing. I feel like it's been really good this year. You had that commercial, the Gen Zero one earlier in the season with some of the guys, and then the new one about tipping and goalies and how tipping's getting out of control. I thought it was so funny. So NHL marketing, go look up the NHL tipping commercial. It's hilarious.
It's getting hot in here.
Nation Dan, you're up. Hot performer of the week.
Well, admittedly, I wasn't as big of a CFL or as much of a CFL follower this year as I have been in the past. So I missed this one during the season, but 3 Down Nation just put out an article and it came into my purview. But it's going to go out to Maven Maurer, 2-time Grey Cup winner. And the CFL is now recognizing her as the person that she is. She's the first openly transgender athlete to have played in the CFL. And the BC Lions are doing good and right by her by putting her name in the record books properly. So the CFL and the BC Lions and Maven Maurer, you get my hot performer of the week.
Put some respect on my name.
Rick, you're up. Hot performer of the week.
Well, I didn't realize Dan hated him now, but I'll bring it up. Brad Malone being the new head coach of the Oshawa Generals.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh.
I missed that one. When did
You
that
were
happen?
off the Malone beat, buddy.
Maybe 2 days ago.
Oh, Brad. Atta boy.
Brad Malone, the new head coach of the Oshawa Generals. Congrats.
This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you not.
That's cool. Leadership role for him.
Finally, Liam Hartman, your hot performer of the week.
My hot performer of the week.
It wasn't me that you
Sorry for
on.
boring you.
Sorry. Oh boy. Probably what's going to happen. I have a good family event this weekend. So that'll be my hot performer of the week to come.
You tease.
Will you all be watching Young Sheldon together?
Foot massage. Joe's
I
barbecue
got a
foot
new
massage.
hot performer of the week.
Sam Darnold?
Young Sheldon
Joe's barbecue foot
is
massage.
the best. And everyone should give it a go. I
didn't like the Big Bang Theory.
I don't like the Big Bang Theory either, but it's very different. There's no like laugh track or anything like that. It's just like a regular CTV comedy, I guess. But I think it's funny.
Real quick, let's wrap it up with a score prediction. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. start against the Vegas Golden Knights. Boys back at home. Big game. 4-point swinger. Liam, your score prediction.
4-2 Oilers.
5-2 Oilers.
Dan?
5-1 Oilers.
3-2 Oilers, overtime.
8-1 Oilers. Way we go. Have a great weekend, everybody.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.